I've taught now with the district for 8 years, and I was a sub for 3 years before that, so 11 years with the district. No, more than that now. I think they've become obsessed with it, to be honest. When I started in 2004, cell phones were pretty much just phone calls. I mean, the social media was there. I mean, when I was in college, there was one called College Club, and that kind of went away. Then MySpace came out, but it was tied to the desktop, so you can't drag a desktop around. And laptops were getting more affordable, but the Wi-Fi wasn't there yet, really. So it's changed. It's become more accessible. Which can be a good thing, but it seems like students are more, yeah, I guess obsessed is a good word.
I've been teaching full-time for 9 years, sub for a couple years, so total 11 years. I see kids just spending a lot of time on it. I see them almost sometimes obsessed with it. Can't put it down, have to update this or tweet that or take a picture of this and send it. Almost like a distraction sometimes. I'm not sure if they learn anything. But I've heard of things like where kids get bullied on it, like kids saying a bunch of negative stuff about somebody, and everybody's just adding on. Obviously, with the Yik Yak incident we had a while ago, I mean, it just shows, I don't know, maybe kids don't have enough education about the consequences of saying it, that nothing really truly is anonymous. Or like, pictures or photos that you send, whether it's Snapchat or through text message, more than one person is going to see it. Hopefully kids grow up and learn these things, or maybe we can institute education, maybe in the health class. I know the health teachers are busy with a million other things, but this is something that really needs to be addressed, because I know a lot of kids make decisions that affect them for the rest of their lives, and employers look at what they post on social media, what they tweet, and I don't think kids understand, again, that they can be in trouble and there's consequences for it, especially if they say things like lying or things that can harm somebody else. They can be civilly and legally responsible for what they say. So.
Now that school districts have to set up their policies, many are looking at how their teachers and students use social media right now for the classroom.
Xiao Xiao Shen went to Fort Osage schools today. Xiao Xiao, the high school levels, they seem to like Facebook and websites like that and Twitter.
Well, Mark, it's become such a norm for young people, for students these days, so it seems like teachers really have no choice but to join in. And at Fort Osage schools, I'm told it is a crucial line of communication.
It's Spirit Week at Fort Osage High School, which means the student council and junior representative Derek Fields is very busy.
I'm on Facebook and Twitter every single minute, every single hour of the day.
Fields, like so many students these days, uses social media to, well, socialize. It also helps him stay in touch with his teachers.
Facebook is the actual way that you can interact with your teachers if you have questions or something.
Not only for schoolwork, but on a more personal level.
Any teacher that I have all year, I would actually want to know personally more about them.
It's a good way for them to get to know me and know that I'm a human being and I'm not just some robot up here talking about something that they don't find interesting all the time. All right, Tanner, you need something to write with?
Taylor Tholen has taught at Fort Osage for 6 years. In those 6 years, the social media landscape has changed, and so has his approach to teaching, which now includes Facebook and Twitter.
They're pretty nice because you can get a lot of information on there and you bring it all the way to their level.
It's something Superintendent Dr. Mark Enderly understands.
When we think of the best teachers we have, it may not necessarily be the one that we had the best test scores or prepared us for the ACT. It's the ones that we really had a connection with.
So while students continue to live their high-tech lives,
My phone buzzes all the time, you know, and it's Facebook or it's Twitter.
teachers can keep up and capitalize.
And a positive influence because it could be a source of cyberbullying, and it could also be a bad influence for children, but it can help in entertainment and it's educational too. I think so because sometimes social media is a distraction, but it can also be like a source of information for you to study in. My test scores would be better, and I would have more time in my hands to do homework.
Nick was always a model student with A grades, but a year ago those grades started to drop. Nick had been given a laptop computer by his high school. He has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder and spent up to 6 hours a day playing video games.
I started doing the massive multiplayer games and stuff like that, and what it did for me is it kind of gave me a sense of instant gratification.
And what did you feel when you couldn't play video games?
I felt kind of panicked and like I had to go on the computer or I'd be bored to death. Yeah, it made me feel bad, like, oh my gosh, I'm not connecting with the world, like my mom always keeps reminding me that.
I spend approximately 12 hours a day in social media.
Institute of Technology say the use of social media falls flat in the classroom.
I think it's more of a social networking site and it's not that useful.
Social media has a negative impact on me because it is a really bad distraction from schoolwork. For example, I don't know if you guys do this, but whenever I'm on my phone, like Vine or other apps, I usually look at the time and then I round it off to the next hour, and that's when I'm gonna start my homework. However, it comes that time and I round it off to the next hour, and it's a really bad distraction for me in my case. And I think it's really bad. I think it has a really negative impact on me. They would definitely be better. However, I'm keeping a balance between both of them, but I'm pretty sure my grades would definitely be better because, as I stated before, it's a really bad distraction for me in my case. And most of the day I'm on my phone, to be honest, and I usually do my homework in an hour or two, which is, I think you should do a lot more hours of homework. And yeah, it's a really bad distraction. On weekdays, to be honest, from the time I get home till probably around 7, so that's 4 hours, and then from 7 to like 9, probably, well, 7 till 8, to be honest, I do my homework, and then from that time till 1 or 2, I stay on my phone. So that would be around 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours on weekdays. And then on weekends, it's really bad. I wake up at 11. I go on Vine to 1. So that's 3 hours. And then I'm actually on my phone the whole day. So it's not 3 hours. I just on my phone the whole day. I don't really go out or anything. So it's 12 hours on my phone.
Has a negative effect on me when it comes to school. Like, for example, when I do my homework, I'll get home like at 5 or 6, and I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch a TV show. But then I start one episode, and then I keep on watching it, and then by the time I realize what time it is, it's like 11. So therefore, at 11, I'm not that awake. So when I do my homework, I'm just doing it to finish it, not to pass or learn. But at the same time, it also has a positive effect because I had a lot of struggles where it comes to like emotional life, educational, and just homework. It's a lot of stress. So for me to get out of that world and be able to look at a TV show and actually like go into some other world where I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff, it kind of like makes me feel good. So because stress can also kill you. But so I think that's why social media is also in a way a good method for it to relieve stress. If I didn't have social media in my life, my grades would be, they're not bad, but they would be better. Like I could actually learn instead of just passing, because when I'm in social media, all I do is waste time. And by the time I start doing my homework, it's kind of late. So I'm just like, I'm kind of brain dead to say, and I'm just doing my homework to pass. So I think my grades wouldn't matter in a way, but it would matter when it comes to learning, not to just pass a grade, but to actually learn and apply the grade in life. 5 a.m. From 5 to 7, I get ready to school, I eat breakfast, and I go to the gym. So from 8 to 3 p.m., I'm in school, and I spend like about 4 hours on social media. Then I get out, and I do my stuff, and then I go home like at 5. But from 5 to 9, there's an interval of time where I spend around 5 hours through that gap of time. So I spend like about, I would say throughout my day, like when I'm actually awake, I would say I spend like 12 hours, not continuously, but throughout the day.
I don't see the need for documenting every single moment of your life.